Yo, six, don't. Yo, don't do that. Do not, do not ever do that. What's up, Serious Dwick? All right. If we billing Ted, if we billing Ted all out, even though that was Wayne and Garth. What up, Greg? Oh shit, I need to change. I need to change the thumbnail for this. I'm tweaking. So there we go. Let me send a little tweet out to the dogs. Yo, I listened to the Drake little 3-pack again today, and it's I think I like it. The more I play it, we were talking with some of the guys on the Clubhouse, and what's up, Isan? What's up, you will? I was talking to some guys when we were on Clubhouse, and you know, that conversation comes up. Like it's not just in the tribe. Like like the room that I started was is something like, is music even good anymore? Does anybody even care about music anymore? And there were strangers coming in listening and everything. But um I find like when I talk to like music creators, bro. Uh Hold up. Let me talk to you guys. I find when I talk to oh, they playing with me. Let me fix this. Property number 2. Boom. Yeet. Yeah, so I find like when I talk to music creators, especially producers, like when the whole like, yo, is music even good anymore? Everything sucks, blah blah blah. Like, so I posed the question. I was like, yo, is it, do you think that it's possible, especially some of the older people, like, right? Because I have this example. Let me just cut to the chase. I have this example. When I first heard when I first heard Outcast Aquemini, which is like unequivocally, empirically, culturally, hands down one of the best rap albums of all time. Of all time. One of the most creative masterpieces, flawlessly executed albums of all time. When I first heard that album, I liked one song. I liked one song, and it wasn't even the single. It was Skewered on the Barbie. And looking back on it, I listened to a lot of East Coast music, specifically Wu Tang. I was one of them. I was one of them Wu Tang kids that had like the CD book, and it was all like Wu Tang CDs. Yeah, that was me. I love that shit. Um, And then throughout the course of, because I didn't have a lot of CDs, right? So you play like the 5 or 6 CDs that you do have, and you're like, oh, let me throw this Outcast on again. And you hear more and more people talk about it, and they're like, you're not listening to the Outcast. Now you gotta listen to the Outcast. And as I listened to it more and more, I was like, yo, this is really like one of the most amazing albums of all time. This is crazy. Like, this is as good as AT Aliens. It's better than AT Aliens. It's better than Southern Playlist to Cadillac Music. Like, this is fire. And I wonder, with the way that the delivery systems are with streaming, and how music is free, you don't have to go and buy nothing, you don't have to wait for nothing, you just listen to it and form an opinion. And because we all have a voice that's broadcasted worldwide, like, you could just be anybody and go to Twitter and get into a passionate music debate with strangers. And you get on there and you start verbally sparring with people, and you get that satisfaction of feeling like a legit music uh critic, right? Like like you're like, what you're talking about, especially if you create music. So my question was, are we like in a space um where we're really not listening to music, because I feel like, take for example some of the older hip hop fans that I know. When I tell them that Baby is nice, like when I tell them Lil Baby is nice, when I tell them that, like, yo, this dude is nice as fuck, they're very dismissive. They're like, yo, nah, that auto tune singing. I'm like, bro, okay, so you went to auto tune singing. Okay, boom, that's what you think he sounds like. Um, how many times have you listened to Lil Baby? And the person who I was having one of these exchanges with, he's like, oh, I listened to his album front to back. How many times, bro? 2 times, right? 2 times. And so my retort to that is, dude, if I would have said, like, yo, oh, no, no, don't do that, no. If I would have said, yo, listen, and, he's like, listen, I've been doing music for such and such time. I know what good music sounds like. I don't need to listen to it a bunch of times. Okay, but I was already a hip hop creator when the Outcast shit came out, and if I would have been that sure in that moment that album was not good, I would have missed out on an epic moment in hip hop history. Now, I'm not arguing that all these albums that are coming out are epic hip moments in hip hop history, but there is the propensity to miss a lot of shit, bro. What's up, Flowers? Appreciate you, bro. Um, but I would have missed out on that, just out of my own sureness in I know what's good. So I think there's a couple things going on, right? Like, I think when you create music, you have a false sense of superiority in your ears, just because you understand, like, how the sausage is made, and it's not surprising to you anymore because you don't have that element of surprise. You're confusing the lack of that element surprise with an emotional connection to the songs, right? So that's number one. Number two, if new music comes out on Friday and you listen to it on Friday and you never listen to it again, like, for real, between me and you, I don't ever want to talk to you about your opinions on those songs because I don't feel like you listen to them, especially as a producer, especially if you're a producer. I don't want to hear any opinions from you about music that you only heard once, because, I mean, bro, we got memes on how producers talk about music, bro, and how producers think about music, right? Like, that meme where we're like, bro, it's like how regular people listen to music, and bro's like all Molly dancing and shit, and then how producers listen to music, and it's the statue of the stoic man thinking, and then he's like, LFO this, LFO that. Like, yeah, bro, I don't want to hear your reaction to a rapper's song if you're thinking about what 808 was used, or if they use the same snare pattern as this song over here, or you know, was the sound design good enough? You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm listening to this Drake, and I don't know, bro. If you think that like Lil Baby's performance is mids, like you're missing out, dude. You're missing out, bro. That kid, like, yo, that kid got on the track and bodied Drake. And it's one of those situations where like he washed Drake in such a convincing and just gratuitous fashion. um and him being a street artist. Like it just makes me happy because I like that kind of music. Like I was happy to see that shit happen. You know, I was thrilled to see that shit happen. It excited me as a fan of you know gangster shit. Um, Listening to Ross freestyle off the top of his dome. You know, a man in his mid 40s still has the knack for coming off the top of the mind. That shit's dope. Especially if you're someone in your late 30s or in your 40s, and like, bro, you try to freestyle, like you're not freestyling like that. It's not happening. And then for Drake to come back and drop 60 bars like he's fucking cannabis, bro. That was dope. That was dope, man. And I don't know, bro. I hope that more of you guys um I hope more of you guys learn to take your stuck up producer hat off when you listen to music, because you're getting really boring to talk to. You know what I mean? Like this music shit is supposed to be something that that we do for fun. It's supposed to be what we do to like make the day awesome. You know what I mean? Like you go and you either go to school or you go to work, and then you lock into your vibe, and you create something, and it's fun, and then you listen to other people and it gets you excited. Like this whole place where we got where, you know, we're in social media, and you went and you equated yourself and you started comparing yourself to the people who are successful and who are in like the pageantry of the music industry. And like, bro, it's, I don't know, it's just sad, man, because I'm used to like, I just remember when we were, you know, when we started creating, and the conversations that we used to have, there was just there was a lot of excitement and reverence, and it just feels like the better that we got as practitioners of the art, because things are less surprising, we tend to dismiss things from people and be dismissive. And then not only that, here's the dangerous part, right? If you're dismissive of the people who are doing it at like the highest levels inside the music industry, imagine what you're doing with your own shit. You're either one, delusional, thinking that you're fucking better than everybody, or two, even worse, right? Because if you're delusional, thinking that you're everybody better than everybody, like that's kind of where you're supposed to be. But if you're on some shit where even you're bored making music, then that's a problem, bro. And I want you to dig yourself out of that hole, because that's not a good place to be. Let's get into some samples, man. Let's find something to cook up to. The hell? What's this? Manu says, yeah, sometimes I can't get over the fact that I'm more technical. People don't really care about that. Nah, people do not care about that. Only producers care about that. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like you don't want to live your journey as if you're in a meme. Like that's so not fun, bro. This shit's supposed to be fun. I got you, Flowers. Zach says, I listen to Cool Keith, Necro, and J Zone. I'm not about Drake's vibe at all. I mean, that's cool, bro. Like, I get where you're coming from. I used to listen to Cool Keith, bro. Like back in the Dr. Octagon days, back in Black Elvis, fucking Diesel Truckers. Um, I listened to like I was a huge like especially in the 90s, I was a huge underground head, bro. Huge underground head. Man, I don't even think I want to chop this. This shit's dope. I'm playing games. Like, there's no need to be a try hard. Just me and you guys. Oh, just so you know, the CMP on the vocals, baby. Yeah. Know how I get down. Oh, what type of shit? This is definitely an 808 jam. Kicks, snares, perks. And I'll take this simpler. Drop this dude in here. Nice. No. No. I've been out of pocket lately. Last time I was here previewing Live 11. Yo, Flowers, you stupid dog. What I do? I did D and I went 1, 2, 3. How many did I go up? 3. D, 1, 2, 3. That's F. Loser. I know what's wrong with this. I'm like, yo, where's the bass, bruh? Oops. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Oh. Man, I like that groove. I do not like that loop for that groove, though. Let's fix it. Fix it. This is going to work so much better. Watch. D, E, F, D, 1, 2, 4, 5. Ooh, that's 5. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Okay, we could do that. This will work. So we'll loop that. Any word on Studio One 5.2? If you, Greg, if you have I should have watched it. They did like the for the fam unveiling, I think on Persona Sphere today. Like around 12. Why don't you loop? There you go. Change the 808 up on this part. You not subscribing to Sphere? You're not gonna do it? Yes, sir. All right, now we're making beats. I think for this we gotta take away all of this. Oh yeah, that's how you do that. Let's see. Did I do anything else cool in here? Yo, y'all slept on this sample pack. It's fine with me, buddy. That is fine with me. Hey, 590, bro. Good talking to you earlier. There's nothing to Sphere but Sphere itself. Yes. Yo, I'm pissed, bro. Live got rid of my favorite fucking piano roll feature where you could hold down control and you could highlight some shit and then ow, why won't it let me do it? And you draw straight, you draw like a slope and it would the like I could highlight these notes and then it would. Oh, why doesn't it do it? Ugh. You used to be able to it would adjust the velocities for you. it's a fucking beat. It shit. Why is all that all the way over here? Start here. Ah, why am I so trash? See what y'all talking about. Can't lose with that 808 pattern. No, you definitely cannot. Why do you, Greg says, why do you choose to make your compositions and samples separate from actually the beat? I find myself doing them both at the same time. It's because I make samples, Greg. You know what I mean? Like the majority uh, the the majority of my time that I spend at this desk is making samples for CMP kits, you know? I make samples more than I do anything. So, um and I realized I made more money when I released more products, you know? And once I figured out how to, just how to be more productive making samples on my own without even having to like, you know, bring people who play in or anything like that. Like I could just, sit down and make, 2 samples a day, do 10 samples a week and have all like dude, I got 4 packs that I'm yet to release. I got 1 pack with fucking 50 loops that I've yet to release. I got so much music I'm sitting on right now that when I go through that process, and then I could be like, yo, I don't feel like making samples today. Then I could just sit down. Then I could just sit down and make beats. You know what I mean? Use the pencil to draw the velocities now. That's what's up. I got to rearrange some key commands then, because I think I got Sir Dwick showed me this. If you guys don't know about this shit right here, boy. If you don't know about this shit right here, you were playing with your life. You don't know about this shit right here. This what do I have as B? B is next to V. Yeah, shortcut buddy. I got, dude, I'm so lit right now. I got shortcut buddy. Check this out. I got shortcut buddy. Linked up to the Stream Deck. And I went and made pretty little icons for all my buttons. So whenever I wanna insert plugins and everything, that shit just boop. Done by Graphic. But what do I got B on? Because that's the pencil shortcut. I could probably find out right now. Easier this way. If I press B, that brings up simpler. Yeah. This is all Surgewick's fault, because this is, there it is right there, simpler. All right, so let's see if Surgewick is cap or not. Highlight these, press B. Yeah. That's kind of what it used to be. It works though. I ain't mad at it. All right, let's get you out of here. Let's send this to external out. Into. All right, let me see what's going on with the console because I got to record this shit in through console now. See what we got. Got to get our gain station correct. All right. See what this sounds like. Nah. Bro, just oh man. That G-Bus compressor is no joke, bro. Look at that shit. Look at this. Problem, you got your Apollo coming in on Wednesday. That's what's up, bro. BMG, do you still have the silver bullet? No, I sold the silver bullet so I could get the uh the SSL fusion. The stereo field collapsed. Hmm. Does Live have a goniometer or a phase meter? Does this tell you? I don't think this tells you. This don't got nothing for me. What plugins do I recommend to start? I recommend you don't buy any of their plugins. You're gonna spend $1,000 and then want hardware. To be honest. What happened to Spicy Sunday? I ain't been feeling like wanting to do Spicy Sunday on Sundays, to be honest. Kind of boring. There's nothing to talk about. I gotta do like research for Spicy Sundays, and there's nothing to research. Like music world is mad boring right now, you know. So I've been taking these Sundays to just like, make music and have fun instead of trying to work hard to talk about nothing. I don't even know if I have Ozone installed. Yeah, I don't got fucking Ozone installed, bro. Man, this shit don't even this is gonna irritate me now. Cause now I have to see it. You already got a hardware compressor and a preamp. I don't know, bro. Like the with UAD, you definitely want to get one of their channel strips. I like the filters on the API channel strips better. Um, like I like the SSL. I like the SSL from the real SSL better than than like than any of the SSL plugins. Hold on one second. The sample. All right. I had to find out. I had to find out because the first time I hooked up my the first time I hooked up my Silver Bullet, it was I was collapsing my shit to mono. I had to make sure I wasn't doing that on this, and I'm not. So it's good. That's good stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Problem. I think the what you want to figure out is like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to upgrade? You know, like what I was saying before, like for example, this, I'll show you. Like this SSL channel strip from SSL native, like you're not going to get a better one than this. Not from Apollo, not from nobody. This is the best one. This one. Right here. So don't buy that from Apollo. Get like the API Vision strip. API Vision strip is awesome. Your EQ game is weak. Well, So a couple things, right? Like when you get your when you get your when you get your Apollo, you're gonna get this for free, and this shit is this shit is fire. Learn how to use that. It's also gonna come with this for free, which these are amazing filters. Like really do not sleep on filters. Like filters are such a powerful tool when it comes to getting your sounds to fit. Um, you know, don't just reach to like roll off with a stock plugin. Like if you can remember, like you all want to clean up the bottom end of something, like grab this filter and use it. And this is crazy. Like I love this low cutoff filter because it's so aggressive. Like you can run this to where it's like like this nasty bandpass filter on the mids. Like this is a really bad, this is a really powerful filter. Um, and it also, and you also get this one as well, the Pultec for the mid range EQs, right? They're so fire. I don't know what this guy is. Oh, the Pultec Pro. Yeah, which this gives you both of those stacked in one plugin. This shit costs like $350 from SoftTube. Those EQs right there, you learn how to use them, and you're gonna be set, right? Um, those are fire for EQs, like for sculpting. Um, this guy. Let me just go to my EQ so I can show you which ones I keep tagged. Not this guy. So I really like this guy right here. I really like this guy right here. These two EQs, like honestly, with that with those Pultecs and then this graphic EQ and this mag EQ, if you can't make sounds, if you can't make something sound good with these three EQs, like it don't matter what you buy. Um, and then let me show you like some trouble I got into, right? So I wound up buying this because like, you know, like, ooh, the hardware is like $6,000 and it's a massive passive and it's for mastering. I never use this. Biggest fucking waste of $250, right? Got one of these, right? I forget that I even have it. I never use it. I have an SSL Fusion now. Why would I ever use this? This was dumb. And I had the silver bullet when I bought this. Like this was such a retarded purchase. I'm never gonna use that. What else do I have in here that I'm never gonna use? That's pretty much it. And then you got to remember, like when you go and buy those, you know, if you don't really vet it, if you don't download the demo, like those are $100 mistakes, hundreds of dollar mistakes. So be careful. Um, what I would tell you is that what I started doing, um, and I've actually saved a lot of money like this. Like I've almost bought that Echoplex reverb 3 times, and each time I go to buy it, I do the demo first, and then I use it for the 2 weeks, and then I remember like, oh yeah, I don't really like the way this sounds. So I give you a 14-day demo on all the plugins, right? So what you do is for 2 weeks, right? Whichever plugins you want to use, you just run the demos. Boop, 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 run the demos, right? And then you use them and you see which ones fit in your workflow. Then once you buy something from the store, it will then reset the demo period on all your plugins. Then you can go and demo some more things, see if it works out for you. If it doesn't work out for you, whatever, then you buy another one and then it resets your demos again. I Am God TV said I wasted a couple thousand on UAD plugins I don't use. Yeah, facts, bro. I was pissed. Because it's like, dude, they're expensive, and if you don't use them, I just get to thinking like, man, I could have bought hardware with that shit. Because no one's gonna buy your UAD plugin on Reverb. That's why I stopped buying plugins, like, at all. Let's see. See what. Let's see what UAD plugins I don't use. Right. So I use my bass amps. I use the Vision Strip. I use the guitar pedals. What do I have that I don't use? I love this when I bought it. Don't really use it that much. This is an awesome compressor. I use this and it was free. Yo. Yo. They give you a lot of compressors for free too with that analog bundle. What else did I buy that I don't use? I bought this. Really loved it when I bought it. I use Valhalla more than anything. This fucking thing costs like $300. Barely use it. What else do I not use? Don't use this. I use the tape stuff. Definitely use the tape stuff all the time. Oh, you got to get this. This is a must have. This is like, don't think of this as like wobbly tape. Think of this like NLS, but the Apollo version. Put that shit on every single track. What else do I not use? I love this when I bought it. It's amazing. But now I have a G comp. So this was $200 that I'm probably never gonna fucking use again. This is what sucks about plugins. What else do I got? Definitely never using this again. Paid $150 for it. Never using this again. Got the real one. I I only use this when I record my vocals, which is rare. And that's pretty much it. Why don't you use that stuff, bro? It's tried to and tested because I have hardware that replaced it. I was thinking on passing on the tape plugins. Like, I mean, you could pass on the ATR. You don't need the ATR, but the oxide is the shit. Like you put that, like if you read the manual and you see how they use oxide, like you put oxide on. I'll show you. Like you put oxide on every single, like I don't have it in this, but I use it when I make my samples. I forgot to do it on this session, but you put oxide on every single on every single channel, and it simulates a non-linear response in your channels. It's like using Slate Console, or it's like using Waves NLS, except it sounds way better. Dog, how'd you hear about Zulu? What I'm getting from all this is to create a streamlined template that works well with your workflow and only purchase the plugins that fit well within that template. Yeah, you get it, Greg. You get it. Oxide is good for driving gain towards drums. Yep. That is a good use for it. Indeed. You've been around the tribe for over a year, but how, so you don't know that everybody knows about Zulu because of me? And when I say everyone, I'm not leaving anybody out. So I'm telling you, I use that shit on every single track of every single session. Me. You have a specific method to sample in Ableton? It's been too damn long. I put a sample in Simpler. I sample the same in everything. I put a sample, like no matter what I use, I put a sample in whether it's MPC or Serato sample or sample one or Ableton Live, I put a sample inside the sampler. I identify the BPM. I set auto chop to half bar, and then I play something. That's how I sample. Do you have to keep that huge list, or can you only use a portion of them? I have them hidden in Studio One. I don't have them hidden in Live. I don't know how to do it in Live. What I do in Live is I use the collections. So I have a collection of effects. I got a collection of EQs. I got a collection of compressors of just the stuff that's manageable. Collections is probably my favorite like thing about the Ableton Live browser because it gives you um 7 categories, and it'll just whatever you mark within those categories, it'll take you to it. You know, so I have a category for, like one of them is best drums, the other one's EQs, VSTs, FX, MIDI, cheat codes, and compressors. That's how I have it set up. Melodic Mouse says UAD's SSL sucks. It don't suck, but it's definitely not the best out, which was surprising because I haven't heard like a native plugin um SSL didn't do better than everybody else, or that UAD didn't do better than everybody else. That was really surprising to me, but it makes sense. I mean, it's a SSL, like it's the real SSL who did it, and it has to work. It works in that soft tube console one, so they would have had to have really show their ass to like pair that with the hardware. Where did my audio marketplace go, bro? I want to know what's up with BK Banger. Ain't heard from him in forever. AM, what's up, bro? Check out both BIP and Chordamist, bro. You better not be fucking telling me about some fucking corny chord generator. Oh. Wait. So what's up with BIP? Like, is it is it is it faster than is it faster than freeze and flatten or something? Me and
utility that I found from Max.
me and uh me and Six's album is gonna be an NFT, Justin. That's how I found out about it. Six was like telling me like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. He's like, "Yo, remember like to talk to you about NFTs. I want to make our album an NFT." I was like, "All right, bet."
For live, and I wanted to just go ahead and say thank you for the support in the last video. You get two elements blend in this particular example. Yes, no problem. So I want to talk about that real quick, and then I want to move on to this utility on the master that I'm about to drop called BIP, which is a really cool Max for Live plugin that I found recently. So I'm going to go ahead and put BIP on here, and I'll tell you what that does after I discuss this kick sub combo. All right, to that down in the description. The channel itself as well can come through. Just tones, a little bit of warmth, and again, sounds like this. And they have all these strange naming conventions of that audio. A rip. You know what? Let's do a sub region or something, so I can show you that it works no matter. You put it on the master, and it works on any track on the entire song. All you have to do is drop the plugin in here once. I'm using my push to trigger it because it does require you to use a push if it's plugged in. If you don't have a push, you can key map this button. So instead of using my push, I could just key map something on my keyboard, and then I could use the same functionality. So you don't have to have a push, but if you do have one, it does work natively. So I go select record, creates a new channel, records it. It's more or less a macro, but it's a really handy macro, especially for my workflow because I'm constantly resampling and doing that sort of thing. So I thought this was really handy, and if any of you are interested in downloading BIP, I'm going to include that in the description below as well. It's not free, but it's only $3. Actually,
Yeah, it's not that cool. I thought it was like bounce in place, bounce in place. What's the other one? I've always loved my beats, but when I heard you and MG talk about hardware, I knew I had to level up the quality and enhance it. That's what's up, bro. I'm glad that's what your reaction was to it. That's why we That's why we had those conversations, man.
I have the pleasure to present.
Yeah, it's all right. Oh, have I ever thought about getting a distressor? I don't. I've definitely thought about getting a distressor. I just don't know. I don't know how much I would use it, to be honest with you. Like even like even on the six, I like when I use the six, I'll have the um like either the kick and the 808 on one of the super analog channel strips that has the compressors on it, or the kick and the snare. And even with this, like I'll drive the preamps on it and get some cool saturation, but I don't find myself compressing that much. So I wonder I wonder how much I would use something like that, because I don't record a lot of vocals. Um and the mono sources that I do record, like whenever it's usually one of my synths through a guitar pedal, right? So like I don't know, like I don't know how I feel about distressing blooper or distressing shallow water. You know what I mean? yo, yo, telling someone not to be cheap and buy a profit. I like it here. I like it a lot. No, you all got anything else on your mind? Problem bought a Hydra. I feel so bad for you guys that bought Hydras. I really do. I really do. Hey, bro. You guys gotta build your synth walls. Build the old synth wall. It's a legendary wall of synths. Got backlighting all on it. It's a synth wall. A wall of synths. Why what? Why do I feel sorry for the people who bought Hydras? Because the fucking Hydra sucks, bro. I mean, it probably doesn't suck. It's just I don't know. I never heard anybody make anything fire on it. You know what I mean? Like you turn a profit on and you run through the presets and you're just like out of here. You know what I'm saying? You turn a Hydra on and you're like, I wonder what I should make with this. What are my thoughts on M1 Max? I've never used one. But in probably in 3 years I'll have one. I get that the presets are not crazy, I admit, but that's the thing. Like that's what I don't get. Like I would never like okay, boom. The reason why you guys bought Hydras is because you wanted to get into hardware world. That's why I feel sorry for you guys because you guys spent money trying to get into hardware world and you learned the hard way. You learned the hard way that $800 is not the same thing as $1,200. What happens when you get an $800 synth? This is what happens when you get $800 synth. They give you this synth and they tell you that it could do all these things. They're like it could do AM, FM, satellite radio, UHF, VHF. It's got oscillators. It's got 500 LFOs. And the reason why they tell you that it could do all that shit is because it doesn't fucking do anything really good. So they fill it up with a bunch of cappery, right? They fill it up with a bunch of cappery. Whereas you get something like a Rev or you get something simple like a OB6, right? OB6 has, let's see. An OB6 has two VCOs, a filter, One LFO. Uno, bro. One. And an envelope filter, right? And it's like $2,200. But it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. Like it always sounds good, no matter what you put it on. You open up that Hydra and you put it on something and you're just like, what is this? At least it's better than VSTs. It's not though. It's not. Because I tell you what, I'll beat battle you with Justin's preset pack in Arturia, right? And you use Hydra Synth, and we'll make a pack of 5 samples, right? You do 5 and I do 5. And we'll see whose samples people want to cook with. So it's not about just like, I'm trying to save you money right now. Like trust me, I'm trying to save you money. It's not about just watching people, glow up their studio and then wanting to be a part of that, and then just buying hardware because it's better than VSTs. Like there's VSTs that sound better than some hardware. You know what I mean? Like you can buy a Roland JV 1080, but Nexus is gonna sound better than it. You know what I'm saying? Shane says she just finished using hers. Good for you, Shane. But if you think about it, right? So you get, like, for example, like you get a Hydra and you get an Apollo, right? So the Hydra's $800. I don't know what Apollo that you got, but say you got a twin, right? The twin's like $800. You put that together, that's $1,600, right? So I got my OB6 tabletop for close to that. It was like I think it was 17 on Reverb, right? So if you were patient, you could have had the OB6. That's what this shit is all about, bro. I wanted a better maker the day that I saw it, you know. But what I didn't do was go on Reverb and find a Waves L2 hardware. Even though I looked at Waves L2 hardware limiters, right? I was like, nah, let me chill. And it took me like fucking, 2.5 years to be able to get into the position to do it. And the thing is, bro, when it comes to these pieces, it's different from plugins, right? Because like, remember, nobody's gonna buy your plugins, right? But if you get a great piece of hardware, right? So, and you invest in it, and like the OB6 came back, like you knew that was gonna be a hit. You knew it was gonna be a hit because the fucking OB6, man. Or you're gonna or you get one of these Profits or a Profit X or something, right? Like once you have, like, the reason why I got the Profit X is because that is like a super special synth. Like there's never going to be something else like the Profit X. Right now, it's went down in value because it's got some bugs. They're working some shit out. But the thing is is you're gonna have these pieces of hardware for your whole career as a musician, your entire career. They're not going nowhere. They're yours forever, right? And in 10, 15 years, if you buy the good ones now, in 10, 15 years, when say you're not using them, you want to get out of them, you know, say you have a couple children, they get they get into music, you pass it on to them, they want to turn around and flip a classic synth and get into some newer gear that they could go and do that, right? Cop that Flock audio patch bay. Investment in this as you grow your studio. I can't get the Flock audio patch bay, bro. In order to get in order to have the patch bay that is going to work for my setup, I have to get the one that has the I have to get the biggest one, and it's $2,200, and I just can't see myself spending $2,200 for something that I can do now for free. I can't see myself buying that. But like, bro, like, say you to go back to what about the plugin Alliance Better Maker EQ? I heard it's close. I don't know. I've never used the Better Maker EQ. But I know that hardware EQs, when it comes to high frequencies, sound way better, like way fucking better than plugin EQs. What's that guy's name? White Sea Audio, the snake oil guy. He did a good video about it. He explains, like, and he shows it in the oscillators, or in the like in the frequency spectrum, what happens when you boost the highs on a plugin and what happens when you boost the highs in the analog world. And you could see the distortion in the signal that causes that sharpness. Like, I mean, bro, I do it in I do it with the mixer, and I do it with the SSL6. Like, when you boost the highs on an SL on the SSL Fusion, you could turn them up 9 dBs and it's not harsh to your ear. It's just loud. Like, when you boost, there's no such thing as harsh highs inside of a hardware EQ. That shit does not exist. That only exists in plugins. Yeah, I was really interested in the SSL UF8, but I don't have room on my desk for it, bro. I was gonna get it, especially since I found out, like, I just found out recently that it does memorize the mappings of the plugins, because that was my thing. Like, if it did, like, if I had to map the dials of a plugin every time I used it, there was gonna be no way I was gonna use that shit. But since I've got the 6 on the on the desk, and I've got the launch pad using Ableton Live, like, I just there's there's nowhere for it up here now. No, Plugin Alliance does a great job, but when I boost the highs on the SSL channel strip, and I boost the highs on the SSL Fusion, it sounds thousands of dollars different. No, I use the 6 as a summing mixer. That's how I use it now. I just don't have any room for a control surface. Trust me, I was really looking forward to it, but um Yeah, there's just no room for it. I mean, to be honest with you, like in order to get the sweet spot correct in my room, look at what I had to do. I don't know if you guys remember what I used to have. But I used to have an ultra wide monitor, like the Samsung gaming shit, the OLED, and it was as wide as my desk. But because of that, I had to put my speakers on the outside of the desk, right? And because and when they were on the outside of the desk, they were set in like 6 feet apart. So that meant that the sweet spot of my listening situation was 6 feet back. So it was happening like I'm 3 feet off these monitors. It was happening 3 feet behind my head. So it was like it was nuts. Like it was just not a good situation sound wise. So even though I love like playing Call of Duty on that curved monitor and everything right here, and being able to have my being able to have um my live stream on the left hand side, and then have a whole bunch of like secret folders and notes and the chat on the right hand side, and now I have to have like my cell phone up and looking at the chat to keep up. What's up, Future Sound? um my monitoring situation is correct, and I can make and I can make shit better. It's easier to hear now. What am I talking about now? Yeah, for you guys that are like itchy to get into synths and don't want to spend, or aren't in a position to spend 1,000 or $2,000, I would do um I would do like what 607 did and get into some Behringer stuff, right? So 607 got the deep mind. He swears by it. What's up, old school? Um Behringer this year, they're getting ready to release an OBXA clone. They're getting ready to release a Prophet 5 clone, and the clones that they make are very well made. They're real analog, um and people love them, and they come out like 6 or 7 hundred, maybe 8, right? Yeah, they got a monopoly coming out too. So, but that's I would get into those synths. I would not unless you were into sound design and you are excited about the capabilities of these synths. I would not fucking jump into like a Korg wave state or a Hydra synth. Like if you don't understand synthesis and you're not gonna make your own patches, don't get some shit with presets that you would not use. The good thing about old timey analog synths is that they're easy to program. You pick a waveform, you pick a ADSR, you put an effect on it, You take the low pass filter and you turn it to the left. You put some glide on it, and the shit sounds awesome every single time. You don't gotta do nothing. Yeah, I like the idea of the Selena too. What's up, Acid? I would do anything for Solinas. I don't have any room for that shit, bro. I would like to get the Selena, but I don't know where I put it. I got my that's why I bought the mini Mellotron so I could hide it somewhere. Yeah, bro. Ever since I took these monitors and like put because that's what the output desk is for. That's why it's the dimensions that it is because if you put your monitors on the output platform and you put them where they're supposed to sit and you put like a small monitor in the middle, it'll give you it'll automatically put the sweet spot of the speakers like where you're sitting. And I was I was doing that all wrong. Yeah, I want the Behringer Solinas. I would do anything for Solinas. I mean, bro, like as far as having the big stream, the big screen, like it's fine. It's more important to have is more important to have my tweeters at the same size as my ear and to be sitting in the sweet spot of this arrangement. Can I show you how I process the drums? Yeah, bro, this is how I process the drums. I put nothing on the kick, I put nothing on the snare, and I put nothing on the hi-hats. And I put nothing on the 808, and it sounds like this. So if you just get the OZ secret bounce kit, if you want to make like 808 Drakey type beats, use Drake's producer's favorite drums. Especially because Oz gives you the actual drums from the actual songs, and you'll be gold, bro. What's up, Curtis? How you doing, bro? No EQ, no routing, no sidechain. No, bro. All that shit's goofy as fuck. Like, bro, to be honest, when I see people like routing and sidechaining and EQing, that just to me says that you can't pick drums. And like I could see if it was like back in the olden times where like we used to get these folders of like Neptune's drums, and it was like some asshole, chopped up a Neptune song and made some MP3s, and then you had to like fix them and try to get them to fit. But I mean, bro, like you can get a kit from the producer that is making these like Billboard songs and actually use them. And like especially like these OZ kits, bro, like there's 10 samples in every folder, you know? Yo, my audio marketplace. Have you seen BK Bangy? You know where he's at? I tell you what though, I'll give you a gem. You still are you, but I'm not gonna show it to everybody. Future Sound, you still here? I'll give you a super cheat code if you like putting plugins on your drums. All right. So that all right. So don't sidechain shit. A lot of the times what's happening, like if you're using an 808 in the kick, what's happening is the Roxy, you all right? Came in here to freak out. Oh, you're not even looking at my screen. You're looking at me. All right, so check this out. Boom. All right, look at my screen, right? So I'll show you that I'm not capping. No plugin. No plugin, just the sampler. No plugin. No plugin. Right? Don't use any plugins. So what's happening is when you use a kick and an 808 is they'll be out of phase. And sometimes flipping the phase doesn't fix that, and that's why the kick seems to get kind of lost in the 808 sometimes. So there's this awesome plugin, and this is like GOAT level shit. You take this, right? It's called Auto Align. And you put it on your 808 and you put it on your kick, right? You set the 808 to send channel 1. You send the kick to receive channel 2 or channel 1. And what they do is they talk to each other, right? So let me show you. So what you want to do, look. So what you want to do is you want to take and hit detect and just press play. And then you'll see right here, you see where this says samples. So this is telling you that it's shifting your kick sample 233 samples to the right in order to stay in phase with that 808, right? let me loop a bar that has the 808 and the kick. You'll hear like listen to the kick. You'll hear it jump out now. Watch. This is without it. This is with it. You hear how much you hear how much how much harder that kick hits now, and you didn't lose your bass. Yeah, no, this is like this is pro level shit. Like this is this is like the secret shit that the fucking engineers that make $5,000 to mix a track use. This is auto align. I'm gonna show you why. You're not gonna find this shit on Majesty. You're not gonna find it on audios. You're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it on VST plug. You're not gonna find any of the fucking goofies who will install Omnisphere for you for $39.99 on your IG selling this shit. But you know, you could download the demo. I think it runs for 14 days. Try it for yourself. See if it's for you. This will make a or this is gonna this is one of the few plugins that like will legit make your beats sound better. Yeah, this is no. I know this is the first time you've seen this because you don't know anybody who fucking mixes, bro. Like people, nobody's trying to spend $150 to make their kick sound amazing. And like I use it for kicks and 808s, and like this is one of those things that'll get you like the last oh it gets you like the last 10% of your they get you like the last 10% of your sound, right? This is polish. Another way that I use it um is like say for example, oh god. Like I got into this plugin from bouncing my MPC to audio and just like making sure like because what I would want to do is I would want to do like when I do like more of like the more traditional hip hop, not the 808 based stuff, but the stuff with like acoustic drum samples. What I'd want to do is create like a drum room sounding track. So something that you could put the parallel compression on. Otherwise, your hip hop drums aren't going to sound like hip hop drums. Like you got to use parallel compression and reverb to get that sound right. And what I noticed was when I was making like my fake break beat to lay underneath it was I was losing a lot of the kick and snare, and it was because it was out of phase, even though it was the same file. So what I would do is I would take auto align and put it on you know send the information from the kick, and then have it be received on my breakbeat, and then that would uh that would put it in line, and then boom, like like the drums are fucking jumping out the speakers, bro. Shit's fire. But yeah, if you're getting into like if you're getting to mixing or working with artists, or you need to get like you like really want to get a professional sound with your drums, auto align all day. Society said I just clicked it and that bitch already started logging into my PayPal. What about kicks and bass guitar? What about kicks and bass guitar? I mean, if you want it's the same, it's the same thing, bro. Like it's going to it's going to, like, whatever signals are out of phase. I mean, if you say for example you're recording, you're stereo micing a guitar cab, right? You get your mics on it, and then for some reason it starts to sound a little phasey. You put auto align on it, and it's gonna align them. What sources and publications do mix engineers follow to know when this type of stuff comes out? You guys just watch the wrong people, right? Like I don't know, I don't know who else's fuck shit you're tapped in besides me, but I would watch, like, I would take whatever producers you're following, and like if you want to know engineering stuff, and then go follow engineers. Like I found out about this by watching Ken Lewis's channel. I remember I remember, you know, like following Ken Lewis like back in like 2009, because he was the one who was replaying Kanye samples, right? So he was like one of the first sample makers that I popped up on. So and then he was creating, you know, these vintage sounds for like late registration and graduation, and for Watch the Throne and shit like that. So I mean, that's a pro. He knows his shit. I'm not spending my time watching like people who work at Fruity Loops trying to tell me how to make drums sound good, because they don't know how to make drums sound good. You see what I'm saying? Like all somebody who mixes in Fruity Loops is gonna show you how to do is side chain and clip, side chain and clip, side chain and clip. And the reason why all they know how to do is side chain and clip, side chain and clip, side chain and clip, is because they don't know shit. Because they ain't done shit. You know what I mean? So if you want to get into like finding the tools that people use to mix, you just gotta look in the album credits on Tidal and shit, and look at those, and look for those mixing engineers, and then you just put them into YouTube, you know, and you'll find like Jason Joshua, and you'll find Fabrice, and you'll find Ken Lewis. You know, you'll find all of them guys, and then you see like, yo, do they have a mixing with the masters course, or you know, do they have any type of courses, you know, do they have any type of products? And then, you know, you either peep them on the YouTube, or you go and pay for whatever courses or products they got, and they're gonna give you little bits of sauce. But here's the rub, bro. Is when you watch these guys do their stuff, you need to already be set with your fundamentals, because when you watch pro mixers talk, they're talking to you under the assumption that you're not a dumbass. Like, you already know how to gain stage. You already know what analog routing is. You already know how to use a compressor. You already know you know how to identify, you know, frequencies by ear, and you already know what something sounds like when it's in or out of phase. Um and then what they're going to give you is not necessarily, and this is important, this took me a long time to realize it, they're not going to give you things that necessarily you do on every single song. what they're going to do is they're going to present to you a very specific example, and they're going to show you an example of a problem that they ran into where they either one needed to fix something, right? And they're going to show you how they corrected that issue, or they're going to show you a really, 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 really amazing reference mix. And then they're going to show you little, minor, subtle tweaks that they did to enhance this reference mix and to be able to charge the fee that they charge, right? So when you could put things into that type of perspective, then you could understand like how to use this stuff, right? So something like auto align, $150 plugin, right? What if you went and you seen this and you're like, oh, okay, like, you know, I invested the money, I used auto align, and then I put my kick and my 808 in phase. That would be a good example of learning from like a pro mix engineer, right? What would be a terrible example of learning from a pro mix engineer is if you took auto align and you put it on every single track and you were like, you know what, let me get my piano in phase with my 808, and let me make sure that I get my pad in phase with my piano, and let me make sure that I get my vocal in phase with my piano and my pad, right? Thinking that is gonna make everything sound amazing because you want to get everything in phase. It's the same thing. It's the like there was a really big problem with with a lot of people not understanding how to EQ low end, right? Because there was a lot of information on YouTube, maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, where people were saying like, yo, low pass everything, leave room for the 808. And what we wound up with was a lot of really like thin and cold beats in the community for a while because people were afraid to leave any information below 300. And then all of a sudden people started to realize like, oh, I could just attenuate that. I don't need to cut it all off. One mixing tutorial that I found interesting back in the day was Phil Tan mixing black and yellow for Wiz. Yeah, that was interesting. But that's another one that you could get fucked up on, right? So that's a good one, right? I remember that one on black and yellow. Phil Tan used this this crazy process of the S1 spreader, right? And he used like, I think he used 6 instances of it to really like space out the lead synth, right? And in the course of doing that is funny because after that tutorial dropped, whenever I talk to somebody about mixing, especially mixing hip hop, all they talk about was like, yo, you know, I want to get a really wide mix. I really just want a really wide mix. And what was crazy was like, nobody gave a shit about width prior to these tutorials. Like it wasn't even a thing. I couldn't even get somebody to define what width was. And because you seen this guy, because what he was doing, he was solving a problem. And that's what he didn't tell you, right? So that when you listen to that song, it's drums and 2 sounds. In Wiz's voice, it's drums and 2 sounds. So what he was trying to do was he was trying to fill the frequency spectrum out in such a way so that he could use like mid-side processing to boost the bass, because that bass, it wasn't an 808. It didn't have a lot of sub. In fact, if you go and you look at that song on a frequency spectrum, there's not a lot of stuff happening below 40. That's why the shit was so loud. And that's why it was such a banger, right? It had like a lot of knock. It wasn't a lot of sustained bass. So you know, a bunch of producers seen that, and they were like, "Yo, Black and Yellow was this big hit. We need to. I need to put a stereo widener on everything. The stereo widener on everything, like to the point where still to this day, when I tell people that the best way to make something sound wide is to take two mono signals and hard pan them left and right, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like nah, bro. Like you need a stereo widener. Future Sound said, I purchased a mixing and mastering lesson pack, and the guy was EQ everything and sidechain here and there. And damn, I stopped watching this. My mix was getting worse and worse. Of course, Future Sound beat. Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, Future Sound is it like for making the music that we make, bro. Like I mean I don't know what genre that you're niching in, but I'm going to assume like if you're here, it's 808 based hip hop music. If you're doing 808 based hip hop music, it's so easy to mix because the 808 is taking up all the sub range, and you're not really like layering a whole bunch of acoustic instruments. It's just all about like, bro, like your mix is going to be your mix is going to be all about your arrangement. If you could just master your arrangement, and if you could just pick good drum sounds to start with, sounds that come from the records, like don't make it so hard. Get the kits from like, bro, get the Murder Beats drum kit off of Splice. That shit is his drums. Get the Oz kits. Get the kits the Foreign Tech uses, right? Or get a BWB kit. This is why I don't make drum kits, because like I don't think that there's a lot of point of me making drum kits not giving you guys the right samples to use. Sound selection is so crucial. Yep, it's the most important part, man. It makes everything so easy. Is that why people have passable mixes and masters, just slapping ozone on a beat? There's not that much that needs to be done. No, there's really not that much that needs to be done. I mean, bro, like, you gotta think about it. If you, I mean, think about the way that we make our music now, bro. Like, you take Keyscape. What do we put on it? We don't put anything to enhance Keyscape on it. All of the stuff that we do is to make it sound worse. We either put halftime on it, or we put RC20 on it, or we put reels on it, or we put wires on it, or if you're a psycho like me, you bounce it out through outboard gear and put it through a blooper or put it through some guitar pedals. Everything is to degrade the sound to make it like our sounds are so pristine inside the digital world. They're so perfect. So if you go to putting plugins on it that are adding sonics, that are adding harmonics, it's just like what are you doing? Like, this shit already sounds great. Like, put it in a frequency pocket where you can hear it, right? Because remember when you're mixing, you're not trying to make things sound better. That's where a lot of people fuck shit up, right? Like, you don't mix to make things sound better. You just mix so that you can hear all the sounds. What's up, So 100? But yeah, bro, it's getting late. I'm gonna hop off. Pause. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Keep it simple. Don't be basic, and we will